Today, we're diving into a really powerful message from 1 Peter chapter 2, and it's one that speaks directly to our sense of worth. We're going to explore how we find our true identity, not in what the world thinks, but in what God actually says about us. So let's get right into it.
So here's the roadmap for our time together. We'll start by talking about that feeling of rejection and see God's incredible answer to it. Then, we'll unpack what our new identity is all about, figure out how to live in that acceptance, discover our purpose, and finally, look at how we're called to shine His light in the world. All right, let's kick things off with a feeling that I think we can all agree is pretty universal. And then we'll look at the divine truth that just completely flips it on its head.
I mean, we've all been there, right? That nagging feeling that you're being overlooked, or you don't quite measure up. The world is really good at making us feel like we're not enough. But, this passage from the Bible offers a powerful and totally different story. And here it is. This is the counter-narrative. This single verse is the bedrock for everything we're talking about. And it's not a suggestion, it's a flat-out declaration. You have to remember, Peter was writing this to Christians who were scattered, persecuted. They literally were rejected by the world around them. And into that reality, he speaks this incredible truth to give them their anchor. You are chosen, you are royal, you are holy. You are His. So, if that's true, what does this new identity actually look like? It's so important to get this. This isn't about just trying harder or being a better person. This is about receiving a completely new identity that's gifted to us by God.
And just look at this incredible transformation. On the left, you've got our old story, which might be defined by rejection, darkness, and that constant hamster wheel of trying to earn our worth. But God's new story for us, well, that's on the right. It's a story of being chosen, living in His wonderful light, belonging to Him, with our worth rooted completely in Christ. It is a total identity shift.
And this is the absolute key takeaway. This new identity is a gift. You can't earn it. It's not a prize for good behavior. Your worth isn't based on your performance or your resume. It is based entirely on God's grace. The fact that He chose you settles the question of your value forever. Okay, so this is an amazing truth, right? But let's be real. How do we actually live like this is true, especially on those days when we feel anything but chosen? How do we take this from our heads to our hearts?
Well, here are 4 really clear practical steps. First, practice gratitude. Thank God for choosing you, especially when you don't feel worthy. Second, learn to rest. And that means you have to intentionally stop that exhausting chase for other people's approval, because you already have the only approval that truly matters. Third, find your confidence not in what you do, but in what Christ has already done. And finally, pay it forward. Help other people see this exact same truth for themselves.
Now, being chosen, it isn't just for our own comfort and security. This new identity comes with a really profound purpose. See, God didn't just save us from something, He saved us for something. So why? Why were we chosen? You could say our new job title is light bearer. Our whole life becomes a signpost pointing back to God. It's all about showing the change that He's made in us, that we were once in darkness, but now we get to live in His amazing light. And that brings us right back to our key verse. Do you see the connection? We are chosen for a reason, so that we can declare the praises of the one who saved us. Our new identity isn't just about us. It is directly tied to our mission. When you experience His grace, you can't help but share it.
So, for this last part, let's get super practical. How do we actually do this? What does it look like to declare His praises or be a light bearer in our normal, everyday lives?
Shining His light doesn't have to be this big, complicated, or dramatic thing. It can be as simple as sharing your story in a natural conversation. It's about living with integrity in a way that reflects His character. It's about intentionally looking for people who are hurting and pointing them to the same hope you've found. Your life, your story, becomes the most powerful message you have.
So, when you put it all together, the message is just incredibly clear and so empowering. You were not chosen to hide or to blend in. You weren't saved just to be kept safe on a shelf somewhere. You were chosen for a purpose. You were chosen to shine.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway. It's a simple command that sums up our entire new identity and our mission. Shine His light. So the question for all of us is, what does that look like for you today, right where you are? How can you take this truth and live it out? Go and shine.